According to a report from Port St. Lucie police, the child was riding his bicycle right here at the intersection of Savona Boulevard and Becker Road when that Fort Pierce police officer, who we're told was traveling right here in the right turn lane, hit him in his patrol car.
Cops. Let's see what happens next. A cop hits a child on a bike. Does he do the right thing and does he report it? Of course. Call it in. Call 911. Call an ambulance. Let's see.
An intersection just yards from Debbie Johnson's home.
It's a good neighborhood. We've had no issues or anything.
Came an issue she'd never thought she'd hear.
Very scary.
A child riding his bicycle hit by a Fort Pierce police officer in his patrol car, according to this report from Port St. Lucie police.
I was very shocked because we didn't have anything like that to happen out here.
According to the report, the child's mother called Port St. Lucie police, telling them her son was crossing the road at the walk signal at Becker Road and Savona.
Wait. The cop hits the child with his patrol car while on duty, but he doesn't call the police. The mother calls the police. Something's fishy here.
Savona Boulevard when the police car bumper clipped him, knocking him over. She told police the officer in the car did check on her son, offering him a Band-Aid, but then drove away without contacting her, filing a report, or leaving her son with his information. Based on the child's description of the officer's patrol car and uniform, Port St. Lucie police say they figured out the officer is with Fort Pierce police, and that this surveillance video from a nearby home shows the patrol car of Officer Eric Arellano heading towards the crash site just...
Thank God for video. Always record the police, ladies and gentlemen. Always. Thank goodness there was security video here to capture the perpetrator. The cop. So freaking depraved and wrong.
Just moments before the accident. Port St. Lucie officers also say when they confronted Arellano about the incident, he denied the whole thing twice until officers showed him the evidence against him, prompting a confession. I reached out to Fort Pierce police, who declined an on-camera interview, but told me Officer Arellano is on administrative leave, pending an internal investigation. They also sent me this statement, reading in part, quote, "We take situations like this quite serious, and our investigating of this incident will be extremely thorough."
I think that was great that they're right on top of things.
Neighbors like Debbie thankful it's being taken seriously, and thankful the child is okay.
Absolutely. Thank God.
Now, I have reached out to Officer Arellano both by email and by phone to directly comment on this investigation. As of right now, he has not called me back. Reporting in Port St. Lucie, I'm Kate Hussey, WPTV News Channel 5.
So here's the story, ladies and gentlemen. As you know, you've heard this song many times before, perhaps from many years ago. It's fish gotta swim, birds gotta fly, and police gotta lie. What a depraved piece of shit. But again, ladies and gentlemen, I don't only blame that cop, that piece of flesh vomit. I blame every superior officer and the culture of policing, where, this is one of those rare incidences where he did get caught. Now, don't know anything's going to actually happen to him. Right now, he's on paid administrative leave, and there's so many things wrong with the police response to this. He's on paid administrative leave. Fancy word for vacation. And again, they don't say paid, but it usually is paid. Now, also, they don't have the courage to give a statement to the reporter. The reporter, if they are doing their job right and well, represent we the people. What would a statement be? From our initial investigation, we profoundly and categorically condemn the actions of the hit and run from our former police officer, ... This kind of behavior will never, ever be tolerated. So, categorically, they need to condemn the actions. There were eyewitnesses, for God's sakes, and there's a video camera. But they're protecting their own. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, it is not a thin blue line. It is a thick blue line. The entire American flag, in their minds, is blue. The police are the saviors, and you and I are the enemy. And the police unions, of course, if this guy even has charges presented against him, and if there are even any convictions, which is very rare, by the way, the cop will probably be back on duty. And with back pay, if there was any suspension of pay. Now, let's get into the article from FPTV. Fort Pierce police officer on administrative leave after hitting child with patrol car and then lies about it. Port St. Lucie, Florida. WPTV has learned a Fort Pierce police officer has been placed on administrative leave after police said he hit a child on a bicycle with his patrol car. Never reported it and then lied about it. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't know why any freaking judge in the United States of America would believe a thing a cop says under sworn testimony. They swore an oath to the Constitution. Did that stick? I think not. Same with this. They lie. And even the Supreme Court has said they are allowed to lie legally in the course of their duty. Hell, this cop didn't just lie once. He lied twice until he was presented with evidence and then he admitted it. But still, the freaking piece of garbage police will not condemn him publicly. He admitted to it. And they should have talked with the reporter and said, we're going to do the right thing. We will not tolerate this behavior. And he is fired as of now. He admitted to his crime. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a crime, a hit and run. You or I, we would have had the book thrown at us. And some may say, well, the child wasn't severely hurt. That's not the point. Thank God the child wasn't severely hurt. But the child was slightly injured. And the fact is, the crime was hit and run, no matter the severity of the injury. Hit, run, and lie about it. Cover it up. Piece of crap. Flesh vomit. Continuing. According to a police report WPTV obtained from Port St. Lucie police, a mother called the police department concerned after her son said an officer hit him with his patrol car while riding his bicycle near the intersection of Southwest Becker Road and Savona Boulevard in Port St. Lucie. You imagine, for all the mothers out there watching, or the fathers, or if you're not a parent, but imagine a child reporting to you, saying to you, Mommy, a police officer hit me with his car. Where is he? Is he at the door? Did he bring you here? No, he left. Imagine that. Rules for thee, not for me. The cops are the original and only sovereign citizens, completely above the law. Again, I don't only blame that cop. I blame every other officer above him, including the mayors, the councilmen, councilwomen, congressmen, senators that allow and support and enable this police culture, where we, the people, are the victims of this culture, and we have almost no recourse to get justice. Continuing. The child said the officer got out of his patrol car, asked the child if he was okay, offered him a Band-Aid. This is fucking crazy. And then left after the child said he was all right. Let's see. This is a little child. Are you okay? Do you have a head injury? Let's take a look at your eyes. Well, I'm not really qualified to determine if you have a concussion or not. You absolutely need to see professional medical personnel immediately. It's an emergency. I'm going to call an ambulance and EMTs right now. That would have been the right thing to do. Duh. You or I know that, but a trained, and I use that term very loosely, a trained police officer doesn't do that. Are you okay, kid? Yeah. Okay, bye. See ya. You know, gotta beat my wife. Gotta beat some more innocent people. It's insane. Continuing. Hey, but at least, by the way, the cop offered the child a Band-Aid. I wonder if it was a used Band-Aid. My guess is it was. It was probably from the other kid the officer hit about half hour previously. And the kid didn't want it, put it on his wound, took it off. The cop said, hey, I'll reuse this later today. I'll probably hit someone else, another child. The report said Port St. Lucie officers interviewed the child and the mother and said, based on the child's description of the officer's patrol car and uniform, determined the officer involved in the accident was with the Fort Pierce Police Department. Officers then determined from surveillance video and GPS technology inside the department's patrol cars that officer, and remember this name, and if you want to call the Port St. Lucie Police, and actually the Fort Pierce Police Department, Pierce Police Department, and tell them what an outstanding job Officer Eric Arellano did with that child, feel free. I'll leave the contact information in the description. I'll read this again. Officers then determined from surveillance video and GPS technology inside the department's patrol cars that Officer Eric Arellano was in the area of the crash moments before it happened. That's Officer Eric Arellano. Officers said when they went to confront Arellano, they noticed his front bumper had scuffs on it. Maybe like pieces of the kid's skull or skin or blood. When they asked him if he was involved in an accident, Arellano said, no, he was not. I guess he never took the Boy Scout oath of always telling the truth, let alone a police officer's oath. When officers asked him why his bumper was scuffed, he said he did not know how the scuffs got there, and denied being involved in the accident a second time. You once, twice. Let's see. Officers said when they asked a third time, oh, so that's the key. So I understand the formula now. Now you know the formula. If you want an honest answer from a cop, you ask him a question once. Just know, of course, he will just lie, he or she. I want to be an equal opportunity person here as I'm reporting. If you ask an officer, a he or a she, man or a woman, officer, the first time, they will lie. Just know that for a fact. If you ask them a second time, they will lie, just for a fact. If you ask them a third time, well, I'm not sure if you usually get the truth, but this time, the truth came out. And the officer admitted to lying. Officers said when they asked a third time, telling him he matched the description the child provided, they said Arellano admitted to hitting the child. Thank God. And now they'll spin this. See how honest the officer was? He told the truth. God bless him. Oh my God. What a outstanding officer. And you know what? That fucking piece of shit will probably get an award for being like the most exemplary, honest cop of the decade after this all dies down. Or maybe not even before it dies down. He may get it today or tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. I'll report on that if that's the case. WPTV contacted Fort Pierce Police, who said the chief was not available for an on-camera interview. What scumbag. See? Contact the chief of police as well. Tell him what an outstanding job he is doing at protecting and serving Officer Eric Arellano. That's Officer Eric Arellano. And by the way, I'm surprised Officer Eric Arellano didn't say, the child was probably on drugs. Their eyes were dilated. They were acting erratic. I think maybe the child was drunk. I think we should arrest the child for drunk or drugged up driving. And by the way, I wouldn't put it past that cop to have said that to the chief or the so-called internal investigation people. They just didn't bring that out in the news. Yeah, one other issue I have with this, there's many. An internal investigation will be conducted. Stop that. They have got to be external investigations. Part of police reform. No more internal investigations. No more police unions. No more cops investigating themselves. Body cam footage has always got to be on. Cannot even be allowed technologically. There should be no off button on there to be turned off, and all body cam footage, including dash cam footage, we haven't even heard about that, has to be released within 12 hours of request. We are aware of the incident involving Officer Eric Arellano, and it remains under investigation by our Internal Affairs Division. That means justice will definitely be served. You know that. The officer has been placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation. He admitted it. What outcome does there have to be other than he's freaking guilty? I'm sure the police unions are not too happy about that he's under investigation, even internal investigation, when the cards are stacked against justice and for that police officer. And we take situations such as this quite serious. Watch their words, listen to their words, quite serious. With extreme critical seriousness, we take it so seriously that we will not investigate ourselves, that we will ask the President of the United States, the Senator, the Congressman, Congresswoman, whoever it is outside of their influence to investigate. If they took this seriously, that's what they would do. See, read in between the lines, ladies and gentlemen. Continuing. We take situations such as this, actually not seriously at all, and our investigation of this incident will be extremely thorough. Is this a comedy sketch? Is this Dave Chappelle? Come on. This is crazy. Along those lines, we will be able to comment further once our investigation has been completed. He admitted to the crime. That's it. Done. Over. Fire him. Arrest him for hit and run. And probably some additional criminal charges because this was a young child. In the meantime, all questions regarding the incident should be directed to the PSL, Port St. Lucie Police Department. According to the report, the child told police his hip was a little sore from falling and that he had scrapes on his right elbow, but other than that, he was okay. I still haven't heard one thing from a medical professional or anything in this article that this child was given a medical exam. What would you do if that was your child? Would you say, even if the child's saying he or she was okay, in this case, that he was okay, you take him to the freaking doctor, ER, stat. This is depraved. Neighbor Debbie Johnson, a bootlicker, told WPTV she has lived in the neighborhood not far from the accident site and said she was shocked when she heard what happened. It's a good neighborhood. We've had no issues or anything, Johnson said. It's scary, very scary. I was really shocked because we've never had anything like that happen out here. She doesn't sound like the height of intellectual perceptions and perspectives to be interviewing. Nothing like that has happened before in regards to any kind of crime, including the police officer, until it happened. And how do you know it didn't happen any other time? Oh, because a reporter didn't interview me about it. It may have happened many times in your neighborhood, lady. This is crazy. Johnson also said she's very supportive of the police department, a.k.a. bootlicker, as I introduced her to you as, and is thankful both are taking the investigation seriously. Never trust the police and never trust the mainstream media. It's like follow the bouncing ball. Out of all people they interviewed someone who's actually stupider, dumber, not quite the best English there, more stupid, more unintelligent, with less brain cells and lower IQ than the cops. And that, as if it lends some credibility to this. So you see how this article is skewed towards supporting the cops, even though that a cop was involved in a hit and run and they are not immediately admitting a crime occurred. If it was you or I, they'd say, that was a hit and run. I support our police department. I have no issues, Johnson said. I think it's great they're right on top of things. Why does she think they're on top of things? Oh, yes, because they said so, and she believes everything the police say is fact, even though the cop lied twice. Johnson also added, since she is obviously a medical professional, she's thankful the child is okay. Whose word is that? Has any medical professional been brought into this article yet? No. She's trusting that the police didn't lie about that. Amen for that. Thank God. Praise Jesus. Praise Jesus. Let me hear an amen from all of you here. So she's bringing God into the mix here. WPTV also tried to reach Eric Arellano, multiple times for comment via phone and email, but did not hear back. WPTV, being the intrepid reporters they are, also knocked on the door of his home, but nobody answered. Maybe you should try again, and again and again. We need to get this criminal driver off the streets immediately. His license should be suspended immediately, let alone being on administrative leave. And if he drives again, boom, jail for life. In general population, maximum security prison. Have fun, buddy. Oh, and when he's in the maximum security prison, I want to make sure that he wears his uniform along with his badge. He's proud of being a police officer, proud of being a cop. Now, when he goes to prison, he should definitely wear his police officer uniform with a badge. Also, he should have a notebook with a pen, so as he may be interviewed by some of the fellow maximum security prisoners, he can take notes on what their names are and what they may be doing to him. This is Leroy Truth, the Leroy Truth investigation, shining the light on corruption of police so we can hold them accountable. Please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video. Please share this video. Ask your friends to subscribe as well. Let's get the word out so we can bring the light of truth to even more people. I'm a new and growing channel. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support. If you'd like to donate to the cause and support this channel, there are links in the description as well as up here as well. I so appreciate everyone who has done that. And until next time, I am Leroy Truth.